Hi, and welcome back to StatLab. In the last lab, we mentioned the 68, 95, 99.7 rule, but we also looked at how it has limitations. And we said that in order to find values outside of that even 1, 2, and 3 deviations, we needed to use something called z-scores, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's take a look at what z actually is. Z is a test statistic used with normal distributions. The calculation for z is this here. X minus mu over sigma, where X is the value that you're interested in, mu is the mean, and sigma is the standard deviation. So basically, Z is a measure of how many standard deviations that value X is from the mean. So what do we do with this Z value once we find it? Well, let's take a look. We use it to look up a value in a table, which is going to be between 0.000 and 1.000. It represents proportion, where 1 is 100% and of course 0 is 0. If you take a look on the right, you can see a graph. That represents, the shaded area represents what the table gives you. So the table will give you, wherever you draw the line, so in this example it's Z is negative 1.5, everything to the left of that, which is shaded, that's what the table is giving you. So it is going to give you basically the area under the curve that's to the left of the line, and it's called the p-value. This p-value represents the proportion, or if multiplied by percent, it can express percent. So how can we represent this visually so we can see what's happening? Well, I'm going to bring up the graph again. If you were given z of less than negative 1.50, you would draw the line at z equals negative 1.50, and then you would basically, if it was a less than, you would shade left, and you would keep the number from the table as your answer. And in this case, we do have z is less than, so we shade left, and we would keep the value, which we'll look up in a minute. But if the question asked you for more than, you would have to shade the right side. So what the side that we left white in this case would be the side that we would want. And in order to get the answer for that, we would need to do 1 minus the number that the table gives us. One more fact that I want to point out before we go and look at a table is that when you calculate z, you always want to round it to 2 decimal places, and that'll make a lot more sense in a minute when we look at a table. So let's look at how a table works. We have 2 tables actually. We have a positive and we have a negative. Now you'll notice that the first column on both sheets has the z, and you'll see that it goes from 0.0 all the way to 3.4, or negative 3.4 on the right one to 0.0. Now I had said that we needed 2 decimal places. That's only giving us 1. Well, if you look across the top, that's where you find your second decimal place. So let's look at an example. In the previous slide, I mentioned z was less than negative 1.5. So we would draw our line at negative 1.50, and we would shade left because it says less than. Then we would go to the negative table, and we're going to find the line that says negative 1.5 and the column that says 0 because negative 1.50. So we can see here that we've circled 0.0668. So that is our p-value. And as I said, because we're looking for less than, we keep that value. And that is our answer. 6.68% of data is less than the value at z equals negative 1.5. Let's look at a real question. Okay, my lab assistant Sasha is a white Siberian cat who is very curious and absolutely loves statistics. Sasha weighs 5.32 kilograms, and recently she discovered the average weight of a female Siberian cat is 4.50 kilograms, with a standard deviation of 0.50 kilograms. Help Sasha figure out what percent of female cats weigh more than her. So first we're going to start with our equation. And in this question, the x is going to be Sasha's weight, which is 5.32. The mean is going to be 4.50, and our sigma is going to be our standard deviation of 0.50. So we just plug that all in, and we get a z value of 1.64. So we want to know how many, the percentage of female cats that weigh more than her. So this time we're looking for z is greater than 1.64. Okay, so on a graph, we would draw our line at z equals 1.64, that's a positive 1.64, and because we're looking for greater than, we're going to shade to the right. And if we go to the table, we can go down the row till we get to 1.6 and go across until we get to 0.04 and meet in the middle. We have 0.9495. But as I mentioned, because we're doing greater than, we need to do 1 minus that number to get our actual answer. So 1 minus that number is going to give us our p-value of 0.0505. So only 5.05% of female Siberian cats weigh more than Sasha. Okay, let's look at this another way. What percentage of female Siberian cats have weights that are more than 1.5 standard deviations away from the mean? So I'm going to bring up our picture here. When they say more than a certain number of standard deviations away from the mean, they're talking about the tails. And in the first example, when I was talking about the table, we looked up Z is 1.50 and we found a P of 0.0668. So in this case, we already know that the tail on the left has that value. And since we just need 2 of them, we're just going to multiply that by 2. And then we can say that 13.36% of Siberian cats have weights that are more than 1.5 standard deviations away from the mean. Now, suppose I wanted to know what percentage of female Siberian cats have weights that are within 1.5 standard deviations of the mean. Well, now I'm just looking for the middle. And since we already found the tails, we can use that value and just simply do 1 minus that value to give us the middle. So our p-value is going to be 0.8664. which means that 86.64% of female Siberian cats have weights within 1.5 standard deviations of the mean. So, if you found this video helpful, go ahead and hit like, and if you want to see more videos like this, hit subscribe, and our next video is going to dive into probability.